So I got a question. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. I'm live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. However, this week I will be live Wednesday at 7:30, Thursday at 7:30, and then I'll be doing it Friday afternoon Halloween live stream. So pull up on your boy for Halloween. Okay? And please, donate to the channel, hit the super chat, hit the cash app. Show your support for the hard work and dedication. And last but not least, please scroll over where you can leave a comment and hype up the video. If you haven't used all your hypes, they are free. They give everybody on YouTube 3 free hypes a week if you have a YouTube account. So if you're watching this, I assume you have a YouTube account. If you could be so kind, if you're rocking with your boy KO, if you're rocking with the content, scroll over and hype up the video. It helps me in the algorithm. It helps gain traction to the channel, and it increases the visibility of the channel. So if you could, please, please, please hype up the video. But let's get into it. I just got one question, because this is wild to me. I want to know how people don't see the contradiction in this thought process. This thought process right here. How can you not see the contradiction in picking Jake Paul to knock out Tank Davis? Saying that Jake Paul is cherry picking Tank Davis. Saying that Jake Paul is going to send Tank Davis into retirement, while also shitting on Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul. Peep the vision. Follow the thought process. If Tank Davis is going to get knocked out by Jake Paul, as a lot of people who hate Tank are predicting. If Jake Paul is cherry picking Tank Davis, which I've heard a lot of people who hate Tank Davis say. If Jake Paul is going to be the one to knock Tank Davis out and send him into retirement, if these things are true, then wouldn't the appropriate reaction be to give Tank Davis respect for fighting Jake Paul? For taking on a tough fight? For being at such a disadvantage that your unbiased pick is that Jake Paul is going to knock him out? The key word I said is unbiased. See, when people follow this train of thought, all you do is expose yourself as a hater and a hypocrite and a fraud that can't be trusted to give an honest, objective, unbiased assessment. Because if any other fighter in boxing was taking on someone that we picked to knock him out, if he was taking on someone that we felt was cherry picking him, then that fighter should deserve all the credit in the world for taking on that fight, and most definitely should deserve all the credit in the world for winning that fight. I'll give you an example of me, myself, and how I work, and my thought process, and being 100 with y'all. I said that Canelo Alvarez was cherry picking Bud Crawford because he was picking a smaller man coming up in weight. Sound familiar? He was fighting somebody that never fought at that weight class. Sound familiar? And there were more tougher fights for him that we would rather see him in. Sound familiar? Right? And I said that, well, if Bud Crawford beats him, he gets all the credit in the world because Canelo is fighting somebody under those circumstances. And Bud Crawford schools Canelo and then proceeds to get all the credit from people that are reasonable, that are going to keep it 100, whether they like the man or not. However, what you have in the case of Tank Davis is people are like, yo, this is a clown show. It's a circus. I can't believe Tank Davis would fight somebody under these circumstances. He's a disgrace to the sport of boxing. But then inadvertently tell you he's doing everything that they praise other people for doing. You praise fighters for taking on dangerous fights. You praise fighters for taking on tough fights. You praise them for punching above their weight class, literally. Unless that person is Tank Davis, it seems like. Here's the problem. You have to be consistent. Me, myself, the fight is trash. But I give Jake Paul no shots. I think Jake Paul is beneath Gervonta Davis. I think if it's a cherry pick for anyone, it's a cherry pick for Tank because of the skill gap I believe that Jake Paul is nothing more than a big, heavy bag in front of Tank. He's going to be a punching bag. He's going to be too slow. His experience is not nearly enough. He's a novice compared to Tank. His feet and hand speed and his ability to see what's being in front of him being set up and stuff is going to get him to where if they're really going to go in there and try their best, then he will be a punching bag, and it will just depend on if the ref is willing to watch Jake Paul get punched on all night, or if he's going to stop the fight because Jake is just too big, and so Tank can't really knock him out, but he can just cut him up, swell him up, hurt him to the body, gas him out, and just go from that way. Like, that's what I believe about the fight, which is why I can say, yo, this is trash on Tank's part, because you're so much better than him. But what you have is people who are haters talking out of both sides of their neck and exposing themselves as haters. Because it's, well, I hate Tank, so I'm going to call the fight trash. But I hate Tank, so I'm also going to pick him to get knocked out and say Jake Paul is cherry picking because I want to paint this picture that Tank is so garbage. But those two things don't go together. All it is you hate. And y'all keep exposing yourselves as hypocrites, frauds, lame haters, bro. Because you can't keep it 100. You would get more respect if you would just simply say, look, I'm rooting against Tank. I hate the fight because he's so much better than Jake. Everybody know he's so much better than Jake, but I really hope Jake Paul knock him the hell out. But when you try to make talking points about how Jake is cherry picking Tank and how he's going to be able to punch down on Tank and he's going to send Tank into retirement, sounds like you're talking about a fighter that's so much better than Tank. And if he's fighting someone that's so much better than him, then shouldn't you be praising that? But you know that's not true. What a lot of you have is a mandate to do whatever it is you can to shine him in a negative light. Me, myself, I tell the truth about stuff. Jake Paul got no shot other than a Hail Mary, run quick, see, like a Hail Mary lucky punch. A Hail Mary lucky punch. That's all he got. He got about as much of a shot against Tank Davis as Conor McGregor had against Floyd Mayweather. That's what he got, bro. That's the truth. And because of that reason, that's why the fight is trash. That's why it's not competitive. That's why he deserves criticism. But you can't criticize him and pick him to lose at the same time, bro. You can't criticize him and pick him to get knocked out at the same time. It's like when I hear people say he ain't ever fought nobody, like them same people ain't on record picking Frank Martin to beat him. It's like it be the dumbest, stupidest shit that you will ever hear in your life. And people actually listen to shit like this. People actually listen to it like it's some real, knowledgeable, good boxing talk, bro. Like, yo, Tank ain't never fought nobody. Man, Tank Davis scared of Frank Martin. Frank Martin ain't backing down. Frank Martin finna beat Tank, man. He finna whoop Tank. Frank Martin finna whoop Tank ass. Wait a minute. So do you just not know boxing? Are you just stupid and you don't know the sport? Or are you hating? Make it make sense, bro. So I find it funny the contradictions that people are having, man. I just think it deserves a video, and it deserves being pointed out that you can't shit on the fight or shit on Tank Davis' decision to fight somebody while simultaneously say that person is the one cherry picking him and that person's gonna knock him out. Like, that don't make no sense. By saying he's fighting somebody that's cherry picking him that's gonna knock him out, then you should be giving him all the credit in the world for taking that risk. Logically, objectively. But we all know it's all just hate from a lot of y'all, bro. And you expose it every day. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below. Smash like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.